I want to spend some time making sure that you understand macros, because once you get that, once you nail the macros, the rest of it is just a matter of getting the training in. And remember, the macros and your diet counts for 70% of your progress. 70% will happen in the kitchen, not in your workouts. So no matter how excited you are about working out and you want to get into a program, it's going to come down to how well you're dialing in those macros and your diet is going. So in calculating your macros, one thing you have to make sure of is the protein is the key factor for me. I don't want to lose muscle. I worked real hard to gain muscle, so I don't want to lose that by reducing my calories and going into something that I don't quite understand. So I have to make sure that your protein is up. If your protein is up, you don't tend to lose muscle as easily as if you just drop everything down, your carbs, your proteins, and your fats. So make sure your protein stays high, or at least high enough. So that means at least 1 gram of protein for every pound of body weight, or your lean body weight. So I should be getting a minimum of 180 grams of protein. That's 1 gram for every pound of body weight. That's the minimum of what I know I should be getting. So I don't want to compromise on that. If I have to decrease anything, I'll start decreasing my carbs. Remember, the carbs are the ones that you have to really maintain and carefully monitor, especially the starchy carbs. Remember the fibrous carbs, the cauliflower, the carrots, zucchini, the squash, the green beans, broccoli, all those things. Those are fibrous carbs. You can eat a lot of those. You don't have to worry about monitoring those as much. But the fibrous carbs, the starchy carbs like beans, potatoes, yams, grits, pasta, rice, those things are the ones that's going to create problems because you eat too many, or we eat too many of those. We crave those, and those give us that sense of being full, a sense of satisfaction. So watch the starchy carbs. Be careful with those. I'm going to talk to you about Myfitnesspal. Myfitnesspal.com. Myfitnesspal.com. I want to put a link in the notes when I get to our page. Once this is over, I'm going to make sure the link is there so you can get that app, myfitnesspal.com. You can get it on Android or you can get it on your smartphone, your iPhone, but it's an app that I think will save you a lot of time. It's really self-explanatory. Once you sign up for the app, it leads you exactly into what you set your goal, set your weight, set your age, all those things that's important. It'll just lead you through it. Plus, it has tutorials and tell you how to do it. But the thing that Myfitnesspal will give you the advantage of doing is you can enter your foods, and that way you have a diary of what you're eating day to day. It's recorded. So, for instance, on today is Thursday. This morning I had 6 eggs, and I had 3 of those being yolks. 6 total eggs, but only 3 yolks. You have to get rid of 3 of the yolks. So I have 6 eggs there. So I could just put in my Myfitnesspal 6 eggs, whole eggs, large eggs, and then it'll just calculate there. And then I put in, 3 of those being egg whites only, and it'll calculate exactly how much protein, carbs, all this stuff is there. And then when I add my next thing, if I had a half cup, I think I had a cup of cooked grits, 1 cup of cooked grits. I add 1 cup of cooked grits. It shows up on Myfitnesspal. It just automatically tracks it into that for my breakfast. So all of my breakfast will be added in one area. Then I go to my next meal, and I just add those in. If I had an apple, click that in there. If I had PB2 or toast, put in a whole grain toast, and it has all of the foods listed. Once you play around with it for a little while, it's pretty easy to use, and it will save you a lot of time. That's myfitnesspal.com. It's a lifesaver. So that's going to help you out. Always, I'm here. I'm here with questions. You can go to Messenger, you can go onto your email, or you can go onto our Facebook page and then look under units, questions, and I'll get back with you. No matter how you get in touch with me, I'm going to be there for you and get back with you on that. So that's it on Myfitnesspal. The goal of my program, the goal of this program is really simple. It's to help you build habits and skills around a proven strategy that gets results. Help you build habits and skills around a proven strategy that gets results. So your habits that you're going to attain are going to be the ones going to help you to get to where you need to be. That means you got to break old habits. I want to help you build new habits. And if you don't have those skills already, I want to help you develop and build those skills around this program that we've proven to help you get results. So that's the whole point of it all. Proven strategy to help you develop and build those habits and skills around the proven strategy. So that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm trying to do here. Now, questions that were asked were about the training. The training is, to me, the easiest part of this whole process. Usually when you get into the training, you don't have a problem getting into the training. As far as most people, when they get into it, it's already done. You got the adrenaline that's going, your endorphins are going, so the training becomes pretty natural for you. The problem that we get to is what happened before the training, getting the mindset right. Just like yesterday, when I woke up yesterday morning, I was a little bit late. And then I was thinking, I got to go and run some errands. I had to take my car in to get a recall, one of the things done. And I was like, okay, when I work out, we got to work out later in the day. And then as I started to get in later into the day, I heard this negotiation happening in my head. Hey, what if you just skip one day? You just skip a day. Everybody has a day off. But no, I came back and I had to overcome that bad habit of procrastination. And I came in and worked out, and it was a good workout. So just to know that knowing how to get back to your why, how to fight those urges to cheat or to skip days, very important. Don't do that. Don't do that. Change your relationship with food. We have to change our relationship with food. Food for many people becomes a source of comfort. It's things that we like. It tastes good. It's all those things that are buzzwords that make us want to crave different types of food, and the wrong foods, and for the wrong reasons. They taste good. It's easy accessible. It comforts you. But when you get to that new relationship with food, you're now seeing it in view of the relationship that you want, this result that you want. Your foods are going to fuel you to get you the result that you ultimately want to have. So my food, I think about it as fuel. It's a fuel source. And once you get used to eating the right foods, it's good. You really enjoy those foods. Then when you go back to eating some of the old foods, you're amazed at how much sugar is in it and how it makes you feel afterwards. So get in the habit of reestablishing a new relationship with food. Is fuel. It's helping you to get to where you need to be. So that's the new mindset you got to have. No more comfort, no more things that you like, because you may not like the good foods at first, but you will like them once you start seeing the progress that's associated with them. So get out of your mind that you got to like everything. I don't like this right now. You will. You'll develop a taste for it, and you'll associate that with the progress that you're making, and you'll stay on track with it. So, new relationship. Now, the biggest mistakes people make, I'm going to cover those, and then we're going to be done. If you don't have any questions, make sure we got questions linked on there. I'll turn on. Relationship that people have with foods, and now the biggest mistake people make. The biggest mistake, what's going to keep you from making progress in 2021? The most common mistakes. The first one is no plan. A lot of times people want to make the progress. They say, I got to start working out. I'm going to start to do the exercise. They start with kind of like a few sit-ups here. They do a little walking the next day. They ride the bike a little bit the next day. But there's no real plan to give them the result that they want. They're kind of making it up as they go along. You don't fail to plan. You don't plan to fail. You fail to plan. I think that's the way that goes. So most people just fail to plan. And when you don't have a real plan, you're really setting yourself up for failure. Over time, without a strategic plan, something that is specific, you tend to fall off after a while because, you can, okay, tomorrow, let's see what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'll just do this. I'll do something else. But when there's a plan, it gives you that motivation to stay with it. So you have to have a plan. Overtraining is the next thing. Next reason why people tend to fall off. They get so excited at the beginning of the year. They're doing it so much. And then they tend to do too much. And then they're having to fight every day this uphill battle. Whenever you start a new program or something new, it's what's called you trend up. You start at a certain level and you always amping up gradually as you get into it. Start slow, build up. But if you start on the mountain, how do you go up from the top? How do you go up from there? So start with something that you can sustain and continue to gradually build on that. And that way you have a positive momentum that's taking you along the way. So most people overtrain. They get in the first day, they do a lot, they feel good, they feel energized. Then the next day they're sore, and they got the thought of going in there and doing it all again. And then after a couple of days of doing it, it's just overwhelming. So they feel burnt out, and they haven't even started yet. So avoid this overtraining. Lack of focus is the next one. A lot of times I see people in the gym, or working out, and they're chatting more. They come in as a social event. You know, they're checking their texts. Their phones are there. They got every alert, every notification interrupts their progress, so they're not getting stuff done. So you need to ditch the phone and get to where you can stay focused on what you're doing. It's not that you're antisocial if you're in a gym setting. You're not going to be antisocial with people, but you're going to stay focused on your workouts. So get in there, know that for the next 45 minutes, you're going to focus on just working out. Not making up stuff in your mind, not thinking about what you're going to do later, not getting distracted, but staying focused. A lot of times when people get that lack of focus, they don't get a good workout in. They finish, didn't feel like they've done what they need to do, and they fall short. So stay focused. Get focused on your workouts. Next is a lack of variety. Some people do the same thing. They start off by just walking maybe. And walking is a good activity, but let's say you walk every day and you're doing the same route, the same intensity, everything is exactly the same. You tend to get bored because there's no variety. You don't even change your pace. Some people don't go to another location. Go with a friend sometimes, but somehow you got to mix it up. The worst thing that happens is our bodies are adaptive. We adapt to whatever we're doing, and once we adapt to it, we find an easier ways to do it. We start to get bored. We don't want to do it anymore. We start fighting against it. But whenever there's something new that you're doing, like some variety, you're looking forward to what you're going to do that day. Okay, you walk today, now we're going to bike. And then we bike, now we're going to do some stairs or a treadmill, or you're going to do different things. That way it keeps you motivated, it keeps you energized, because there's variety. And variety is the spice of life. So make sure you got plenty of variety in doing those. And then training intensity. A lot of people fail to get progress because they're not training at the level of intensity that they need to get progress. When you're working out, there's a certain, level of intensity. Let's say if your level of intensity to get progress is a level 7, you got to work out that intensity level 7, and you're working out at a level 5 intensity. You'll feel good. You'll get tired. You get exhausted. You'll sweat. But if you don't get to that level of intensity needed to make progress, you won't make progress. I mean, you'll go through the motions, but in order to make progress, you need to exceed where you were previously, constantly push yourself to another level. So find out what is that level of intensity that's needed to make progress. You've heard that saying, you work out until the burn. Work out until you feel the burn. That's actually true. When you're working at a certain level of intensity in order to make progress, the muscle produces a certain amount of heat. And that heat creates a chemical reaction that causes this change to happen. It's like water boils at a certain temperature. It boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, when it boils at that point, it changes its nature from a liquid to a vapor. As soon as it starts boiling, it goes from a liquid state to a vapor state. But it also picks up power during this transformation. It goes from liquid, vapor, and steam can do a lot more. You can drive an engine with steam. There's a lot more principles that can be applied with steam. But it had to reach that heat, that amount, 212 degrees, in order to create that kind of transaction. So the same thing when you're working out. If you're not working out to that level, to where you're getting that progress, that level of intensity, you won't make progress. Remember, at 210 degrees or 211 degrees, you have very hot water, but not boiling water. You know, but you're still not getting the transformation that you need because you got to go that few extra degrees. So maybe the difference between you making progress now and what you really want could be just those few extras. Just push yourself a little bit harder, staying focused on it, and push yourself till you know you get the progress that you want. All right. So the 5 again: no plan, overtraining, lack of focus, a lack of variety, and then training intensity. You got to train intensity enough. Progress is not hard. It's not hard. The things that I'm talking about is really not that difficult. When you were in school and you were in class, I should say, all the students were in the same classroom. They heard the same instruction. They had the same resources. Everything was available to everybody. But then when the test was passed out, we got different scores. How is that when everybody got at the same level, different scores? How could some people score higher and some people fail the same test? Goes back to what we're talking about. They fail because a lack of focus, a lack of intensity about their homework and the things they need to do, or they're just not applying themselves with a good study plan. There has to be something that makes you stay in this. So everything I'm telling you right now is great information, but if you don't apply it, if you don't make it part of something that's going to work for you, you're going to taper off. You know, I've got a lot of information I can give you. I mean, I've done this for over 40 years, so I've got the information. I've got the inspiration. Whatever you need, I can help you, but I can't make you do it. I can't make you desire it. I can't motivate you to the point where you got to get up in the morning, and I got to be there every morning calling you and making you do that. You got to know deep down within you that you want to do this, and you want it. You want it for yourself. You wouldn't have come this far to let this taper off. So I want to encourage you, just keep at it, keep going, keep picking up yourself up every morning. And what will happen over time? Momentum takes place. That means you've been pushing yourself and pushing yourself, and before you know it, it starts moving easier. But that's what momentum is about. It takes a lot of fuel to get a plane off the ground. Once it gets off and it's up in the air, it really takes a lot less to keep it going. So push hard. These first couple of weeks, stay with the program, stay with your diet, and I promise you that you'll reach that point of momentum, and you're going to be thanking yourself for just never giving up. So don't give up on yourself during this time, and don't get overwhelmed. Lastly, to avoid overwhelm, because a lot of times we get overwhelmed with so much information, so much to do. I know you have a busy schedule. To avoid overwhelm is you take whatever your problem is and break it up into pieces. Don't think of it as being a big thing you got to do. Start with simple things and do a simple step at a time. Even if you got to do it just a few minutes less, rather than doing 45 minutes, maybe you can only do 20 minutes today, do 20 minutes. Don't get overwhelmed with, I got to do 45 minutes. Do 20 minutes. But break it up so where you can still make it something that's bite-sized, something that you can accomplish. All right, guys. Keep sending me your questions. I'll answer them right away if I can. If not, I'll answer them during the chats. And that's it for today. Make it a great weekend and make today awesome. I'll see you next time.